this podcast, we cover sensitive subjects such as abuse, suicide, self-harm, depression, and other difficult topics. We are not medical professionals. We suffer from our own mental health issues. Our opinions should not be taken as medical advice. Dread the Stigma is for educational purposes and awareness for mental health only.
That was simple. That was right to the point. Welcome, everyone. This is kind of an impromptu live. I'm sure I'm here with Ivan. Ivan, you put guests down there. Come on, let's say what you really are. You are a mental health advocate.
I didn't know what to put, man.
That's
Mental
all
health
right.
advocate, bipolar warrior,
There you go. All of them, man. We're all fucking warriors.
king of encouragement.
There you go. I like that.
Yeah.
That's nifty. I dig it.
Little engine that could, man.
Little engine that could. I'm gonna go make sure over here we are over here on YouTube. Whoops. Let me pause. All right. So we are live over there. May take some people time to get over here, but that's all right. That's all right. We got plenty to take and talk about. First, I want to start out with talking about a lot of the mental health groups that are out on Facebook. And maybe it's just because I never looked before or really paid attention, but there's a lot of them out there. And you're an owner of one. Why don't you tell us? Because you actually have two that are really out there, right?
Yeah, I have the awareness page, mental health. Oh man, I'm drawing a blank.
Mental health awareness and encouragement.
Mental health affects everyone.
There you go.
And that's public, and that's just to drive a message that we're all in this together.
Absolutely.
And then my other one is mental health awareness and encouragement. That's the awareness page, and that's just to get things out there. Like it help promote other groups. My co-captain Cassie's been making it very active, and
yes, I've seen that. Just I joined the group, and it's funny how I got to know you because I was just sitting there and I seen something come across my feed that said, anyone want to chat, join the community chat and whatnot. I'm like, I'm gonna go check it out. If I see a mental health, chat through Messenger, which we were talking about all what Facebook's been doing and how difficult they're making it for content creators. But and so I clicked over there, and man, I met. I mean, as soon as I said hello, there was like 3 or 4 people that were saying hi. I didn't find that in a lot of other community chats. It always seemed to, take a bit. There wasn't much discussion, and as I've always said, open discussion and education is going to tear this stigma down. And that's what we're going to do today. So get over there. Everybody needs to. I should have had the link up for those who watch after the fact.
We'll put in the comments.
Yeah. We can. I'll take. Actually, I have it right here, and I will put it in the comments. Copy. Boom. Boom. You would think I really know what I'm doing, and I don't. I'm flying by the seat of my pants. No, with StreamYard, I've worked with that quite a bit. All right, there. It's not. I don't like that they don't make it linkable. You know, they don't put it up there as a link yet, but people can copy and paste it if they need to.
Yeah,
Um,
we'll get it figured out.
yeah, they'll people will get it.
My
So
my main problem with groups starting out, like I didn't really know what I was allowed to say and not say, and I got kicked out of so many groups real quick just because I was just so like open about what I'm trying what I was going through, and so then that's why I started making my own groups because I have a business degree, I should be able to figure this out.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's. I've had a lot of people say, "Oh, you know, you're brave. It takes a lot of courage." Because I have no problem coming out and talking about any of the problems that I have, and I know a lot of people are. Well, they're not ready yet, and that's perfectly fine. Um, let me hold on. I'm gonna repost this while I'm trying to multitask. But yeah, it's fine that people, are having or have a hard time opening up. There's nothing wrong with that. Um, a lot of it, is sensitive, and they don't want to go public with it, it's not a problem as long as they know there is somebody they can talk to, a safe space, and I think that's what a lot of these groups take and try to create. And I think that's what I found in your community group. um, it is a safe space. You can if you need to talk, it's all about support. It's hard for any of us to take and handle this alone. Now, if you want, it's up to you, Ivan. If you want to tell everyone what you've been diagnosed with.
I was diagnosed 4 years ago with bipolar one or manic bipolar,
Hmm.
um, and I go through, and it's kind of like bipolar one's like a melting pot of all sorts of mental health disorders,
Yeah.
and it has a bit of everything. And but the main problems for me are the psychosis and the manic episodes. And when I go through psychosis, I'm like Dr. Seuss, man. I rhyme. It's so weird. And then
That is where I don't mean to laugh or anything, but that is I've never heard that before.
and like I'm like when I'm manic, like I'm really a storyteller. Like I'm pushing stories and I'm writing. I can creative write like poetry and all this. Like my art side is like through the roof. But
So your creativity goes up when you're manic.
yeah,
Now, is that like, because manic can go either way? You can go real high and you can go on spending sprees, be very overly happy, or it could be an extreme low. Where does all that creativity fit into that?
it 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 ends up being like I got so used to it. Like I know my body's ticks, and I know when I'm in that zone. And but I've also learned how to like work on my impulsiveness, which is really tricky. Um,
Mm.
like I've had to cut down. Like I got rid of my Amazon because I was like, there's no way I was gonna be able to do that with having this bipolar.
You get that real high. Next thing you know, you got 150 packages at your door
Yeah,
by the end of the week.
yeah. I'm dressed up like Superman, and
Yeah, it's like running down the streets. The kids may love it, but
yeah. They love it, but
parents are gonna look at you.
Five O doesn't like it too much, you know.
Some people may frown upon that, but yeah, I've got borderline personality disorder, major depressive disorder, and complex post traumatic. Um, I was misdiagnosed for a while. They had me diagnosed at first for manic, manic. It's like a manic bipolar, manic depressive, or something like that. I can't remember if I was bipolar 1 or 2. Um, and that went on for years. And then when I hit about 26, 27, that's when the borderline came out. And you know how they told me? They didn't say you have borderline personality disorder. They said you have borderline schizophrenia. I was like, what the fuck? Does this mean I'm on the verge of schizophrenia? What's happening? And this brings me back to your melting pot analogy. Schizophrenia and borderline personality disorder, because schizophrenia, that there's a lot of overlapping symptoms, and this is for your mild schizophrenia. A lot of people think, and it's all due to the media, schizophrenia, just people running around seeing shit. They're crazy. They're talking to themselves. No, you probably work with people that are schizophrenic and have no idea because they function. It's not all that extreme, you know. So there's a lot of overlapping symptoms. So I had to look it up, and that's exactly what it was. It was a borderline personality disorder with schizophrenic traits. And those traits were them overlapping, symptoms. Um, Again, not sure where I was going with that, but I went with it.
So another problem I've had with my bipolar is the self-sabotage
Mm.
where like words are just coming out of my mouth, and like I feel like somebody else, I got my autopilot, somebody's hijacking me, and and like it's like a blackout type deal where like after I come to, like I forget what happened, but it's already been said and done, and
Yeah.
it's already too late. It's on social media, it's on everything. And so my friends and family and everybody have they probably cut me off by now, thinking I spamming them and stuff, and like, but I've learned to just let that all go. Like I have a new support group, and I'm doing better, and I've learned from my ticks what to do, what not to do.
Awareness is really a big key in it. If you can be, being self-aware, and a lot of times with certain disorders, such like the BPD, you can be self-aware, know what you're doing, and just not be able. It's like an instant spiral. Um, I did, if you're not familiar with what BPD is, if you go to the live section of the YouTube page, I just did a little podcast this past Sunday about the holidays and mental illness, and I talked a little bit about BPD. So refer back to there or Google it if you don't want to listen to me talk to you about it. um, but yeah, it's what were you just talking about? Sorry, I'm multitasking again. I need to stop. Fucking
BPD,
focus.
and
Yeah. um, so yeah, it's everybody, especially these days, is struggling. Um, I'm not making money on YouTube, so I'm going to call it like it is. Suicide rates are through the roof.
yeah,
Um, and a lot of them, it's sad, but a lot of the number of suicides by 10 to 15-year-olds have been, I believe, slightly on the rise. And there's a large percentage of getting more into your elderly from like 55 and up. There are a lot of suicides. And I guess that's explainable. It's probably the time where you start coming into health issues and a lot of things like that. Because your physical health and your mental health are the same, and they should be treated the same, you know. Uh, and they're not. And that's part of the stigma. But yeah,
That was the big thing for men's mental health was that
yeah.
I think it was eight out of 10 for men versus women for suicides, and
It is. I I'm big on that aspect of mental health, getting men. I call it the John Wayne syndrome. Everybody's trying to be tough. The guys try to be tough and they stuff it down because they're tough and they're not wimps, wussies, little bitches. Yeah, I gotta be tough. That shit gets to you. I mean, alcoholism, which, is what happened to me. A lot of men stuff it down, and you're right. The percentage of men that take their own lives is higher than women.
like another aspect is like the military doesn't really help people after they get out of the military for mental health.
Mm-hmm.
And like how we grew up like our grandparents were in wars, our dads were in wars, like tough as steel, and like if we had any problems they would say stuff like, well, you at least weren't in a war, like,
Right, minimize it, right.
you know. So then it's just like I always have to be tough no matter what job I have. I got to be tough. And I like, even if I have anything I want to say, I can't really say it because it's just like no one's really gonna do anything about it anyway. It's just how, like, every job I've had, they always say it is what it is. It is. So like, but I got tired of that though, because I got tired of hurting all the time and people coming to work all sad and down all the time because of how bad the atmosphere is. And I was the biggest guy in the room, so I said something. So they didn't like that. And but if I had to do it again, I would. You know.
We were talking earlier. I just had a website. We were talking about mental health and pets and how they can how they help with those with mental health. You would think with 8 dogs, I wouldn't have a bit of mental health issues.
Sleeping, man. You want to be able to.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably the biggest one because they all want to sleep in the bed with me and my wife, and we let them. You know, here's some benefits of an emotional support dog, and I don't think it has to technically be. Doesn't have to be an emotional support dog. It can just be your family pet. Here's a few things that it helps with: alleviating loneliness, enhancing social engagement and interaction. Who would have ever thought that your little puppy can help enhance your social engagement? Normalizes heart rate and blood pressure. Bet a lot of people didn't know that. It reduces pain. That's interesting. Reduces depression and increases pleasure. I read a stat a while ago that says petting your animal can reduce your stress up to 20%. So it's obviously very, very beneficial. And it's cheap therapy. Of course, it's not going to solve all your problems, but I know myself when I'm down, the dogs sense it. They know something's down. Something's wrong with me, and they'll all come over and cuddle with me, and they try to make you happy. That's what dogs do. They want their owners to be happy. They'll do whatever. Yeah, they're a little pain in the asses sometimes, but you know, it does help lift my spirits. I know it's kind of a sensitive subject for you, as we talked before we went live, but you have any experiences like that? Um, in
Yeah,
the past with pets really helping you calm down. It's almost like that breathing exercise, really.
I like going over to my friends' houses and playing with their dogs. That's always fun for
That's
me.
the first thing I do. If I walk into somebody's house, I'll sit on the floor
Yeah,
immediately. I'll
yeah,
sit on the floor and start playing with the dogs.
that's fine with me.
Yeah, right. Um, so there is as I mentioned, there's a lot of. Before I get into that, I want to talk a little bit off topic. All these fucking Facebook updates. They're making it really hard, and complicated and just a real pain in the ass uh, for some of us. I'll wake up one morning and everything will be fucking different. My shit will be running all weird. And it's like, oh God, here we go with this bullshit again. What kind of troubles have you had with your mental health group, if any?
I had several because I created different groups, and I was trying to share followers from one group to the next group, and then it turned into like, and then I found out like half the people were just not good accounts, and then I had to personally like delete every single one of them out to like delete the page, and that took me all day. And
Good night.
trying to think. Uh, just the chat that they got rid of right now. That's just a huge blow. Like, and I know a lot of small business owners that needed that, and
Oh, yeah.
and uh, and it's just it's just the new community chat. They said it was gonna be the new bee's knees. It was gonna be good, and it's between that and Meta. Like, I mean, a whole bunch of stuff needs some work, but I
Yeah.
don't. I think they're just going a little chintzy with it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Cut
Yeah.
some corners. That's what I should say. Like,
Yeah. No, no, for sure. But, you know, I know you, and I speak, when I say this, I'm pretty sure I speak for you and a lot of other, group owners, it's worth the headache. Uh,
yeah,
because, as I mentioned to you, it may seem like we're not doing anything. We're just, out here whining about our problems. And I know people think that, and I don't give a shit.
attention
Um,
seeking.
it's
Yeah,
therapeutic for me to sit here and talk about it. My mental health started, soon after I was 11 years old, and I was molested at 11, and of course that right there just started my mental health decline. I was in fight or flight from that point on, constantly. Um, so 42 years of my life has been dealing with mental illness. So I'm going to talk about it. I don't care if people get tired of talking about it or seeing my face. I don't care. I'm tired of looking at my face. So join the fucking club. Uh, but I know it's not going to, stop me. And it doesn't matter how long that you've been dealing with it. These groups, my group, your groups, are just here to, provide a safe place to take and discuss these things. You go anywhere, people will look at you sideways. You know, and a lot of it's from media. A lot of the stigma the media puts out. I watch a lot of true crime. I've said this before. I watch a lot of true crime, and yeah, he went in and he murdered his family. We later found out that he had borderline personality disorder. So now everybody thinks somebody with a personality disorder is so violent, dangerous. They do that with schizophrenia. They do that with bipolar. They do it with all of the different disorders. Now,
Number one topic on the news today. Like,
yeah, right. Let's focus on this mental health.
yeah, blame mental health on everything.
Oh, absolutely. It's just like if you get a sniffle, it's COVID. The flu doesn't exist anymore, but that's a whole nother podcast for somebody else. I don't delve into politics anymore unless it affects mental health. And the mental health system needs a complete overhaul.
Yeah.
Have you ever had issues with any kind of insurance issues and getting help with a therapist?
I've had issues with medications. Like they only given me half of my scripts. Like they're not even giving me like my full script, and I have to do and I'm only allowed to have a certain amount of refills. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. And then
Wow.
my problem with therapists is I told my therapist this when I got with them. I'm like, I have abandonment issues because of being diagnosed and how everybody treated me. And then my therapist quit, and I'm like, come on, man, I can't get. Then I got a sponsor for recovery, and my sponsor quit on me, and I'm like, gee, like the only person that then quit on me is God. So like that's why I have my cross, and I stay strong, and but it's just bull crap about insurance with we'll go talk. Sorry, going backtrack here
No, you're good.
with insurance and medications, insurance with providers. Like we should be able to get the help we need, and we shouldn't be stigmatized for trying to get the help we need. Like
Yeah,
somebody going to see a therapist should is a lot better than somebody going to a bar and getting annihilated. Like
exactly.
definitely
And
definitely living a safer life.
no, for sure, because that was definitely me. I just wanted to find a baseline. And the only way, I could seem to do that because I wasn't on medication at the time was drink about 4 or 5 pints. That took me down a little bit, or kind of mellowed me out. Um, and it's a very effective way to control to get that baseline. Marsha Lanahan, who created DBT from her own borderline, from her own suicide attempts, from her own institutionalized early years when she was like 17. Um, so it's not something that just came out of a textbook. No, this was created by a woman with BPD. Um, as she said, therapists, when it comes specifically to BPD, therapists, we're a hard bunch. We're a hard bunch to deal with in therapy. And it's long term.
Right.
And it all comes down to money. It's long term, but it's hard for the therapist. So they don't get paid anymore per patient, whether it's a difficult case or not. They get paid the same. So do they want to work 10 times as harder with a patient for a longer time or deal with a 6 to 8 month treatment plan with somebody who's not as difficult to deal with? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just like they don't want to work as hard. And this comes from somebody who's been in, mental health her whole life, and then specifically the last 50 years. She has dealt with, um, been in that whole. Yeah, so she knows how they're working with BPD. It took forever for me, even with insurance, to find any place that would take my insurance. They didn't want to deal with me, and that's a big thing with BPD. Like you said, you have abandonment issues, perceived or real, doesn't matter, at least for me. If I just think somebody's going to leave me, I'll start spiraling. um,
Yep.
so
Absolutely, man.
yeah, it only takes one little trigger and my whole day's fucked up. I've had times where I couldn't get. It took me a couple minutes to get my jacket, my arm in my sleeve. I take a jacket off, throw it across the fucking room. My whole day's ruined. Whole day's ruined just because I couldn't get my arm in a sleeve the first couple of times. That's, and people say, "Oh, you're overreacting. Calm down." Excuse me, calm down. Hey, we don't, the whole joke, men don't tell the woman to calm down.
Yeah.
That's like a no. Well, it's also a no to tell somebody in a manic state or in a BPD rage or any. I keep saying BPD and specifying that because that's just what I was diagnosed with. But I don't mean to leave any of the other diagnoses out. Yeah, they're all important and debilitating and hard to live with. But I get that BPD rage, and they're like, "Just calm down." You listen. You're telling somebody with the inability to regulate their emotions to calm down. That why doesn't this make sense to me? You know what I mean? I mean, that's the whole crux of my disorder. I
I
can't
learned
regulate my emotions.
I learned the hard way that no matter what, we are liable for whatever state of mind we are in,
Yeah,
and there's no representation for us if we get in trouble.
right.
Like so,
No, you're right.
I learned that the hard way, and
Mhm.
I also learned that I could go through the door like the Kool Aid Man when I was manic and like extreme. I was trying. I wanted my dog back, man. Anybody would have done it. Like
Yeah.
like, but I didn't hurt nobody. I just broke the door, and
Just wanted your dog, man.
yeah. So, but anyway,
You pulled a John Wick.
yeah, I pulled a John Wick, man. I did, and but it was also like it ended up being a forced sobriety for me. Like I ended up getting like anger management and like other stuff that other classes that I should have took a long time ago. Like and it helped me become a better person. I'm no longer so aggressive. I'm more assertive, and I'm definitely doing better. It's just it was a silver lining in the end, even though it was really like despair. I didn't think there was an end there for or like any hope for a long time, but but God works in great ways. So
Yeah, everything, I believe everything happens for a reason. And I'm a firm believer of that. And although it is hard to believe sometimes when you just keep getting kicked in the teeth. Well, why do I keep getting kicked when I'm down? And it's it makes mental health worse. You feel hopeless. That's what kind of sparked this. That hopelessness, uh, that loneliness. Yeah, a lot of people get lonely, but a lot of people don't get lonely like we met. I know when I get lonely, that's not just lonely. It's people hate me. Nobody likes me. They're tired of me. I'm a burden. That's what my loneliness feels like.
I only that's my reflex because of like I'm so used to people not liking me now. I was the nicest guy, man, but now I'm like the boogeyman. They're just like, but it's okay,
Yeah,
and like and we're meeting the people that we need to meet right now, like in our lives for like to continue our growth with what we're working with, and it's just now I'm losing my train of thought. Sorry.
I've done it 5 times so far in the past 30 minutes. So you're entitled to a few.
It's just the loneliness of mental health. It really does feel like you're drowning and everybody's watching, and you wish this one person would help, like just like and even if it's just like just letting them let you talk to them for an hour or whatever, just like that's the biggest thing. Like
Yeah, and you don't have to if somebody, you know, I'll just put from my point of view, if I go to somebody, I don't necessarily need you to throw all of the cliches out there. It's going to be okay. It'll pass. Sometimes you just need, this the saying, you have 2 ears and 1 mouth. Shut the fuck up and just listen. Sometimes that's all you need to do for somebody. If they get upset, if they get, loud, especially with me, I get very upset. I get loud. I'm like, "Arr," let them do that. As long as they're not hurting anyone and they're just yelling, let them get that out. You know, like I said, as long as it doesn't turn into like domestic violence or anything like that. If you're just simply yelling to get that out and whatnot, sometimes that needs to happen. And that's when we don't need judgment, A hug. You don't have to say a word. Go over and give them a hug. Hold them tight. That could be the biggest difference. That could snap somebody out of it, possibly. I know it has calmed me down. There's science behind hugs. There really is. And that's why I think they're so important. I meet somebody, I'm hugging them. Yeah, there's science behind it. And, we need more of that. Got a comment here and H2O. I'm guessing that's what that's supposed to be. We have to take initiative as people to learn certain healthy coping mechanisms. These are skills for living life. Absolutely.
absolutely.
I couldn't agree more. And yeah, I'm not trying to make excuses for, screaming and yelling and things like that. Because we do, as those that deal with these issues, there is a certain amount of responsibility that comes with, that we have to take accountability for our actions. And by doing that, as Anna said, we, may need to take and, learn new coping mechanisms. A lot of us have an issue where we've rewired our brain because of having these unhealthy coping mechanisms. And we have to relearn how to do that. I know that's the case with me. DBT does that. CBT does that. So we have to learn those healthy coping mechanisms and take responsibility. And I think along that line, so it's a very good point that you made, Anna. She says, yes, coping skills can facilitate the mindset of internal locus of control. I'm not sure I understand locus of control. Or was that supposed to be something else?
I wonder if it's supposed to be lost. Maybe I don't know.
Internal loss of control. That makes sense. Sure. No, absolutely. Yeah. And it's a two-way street, because I know my wife over the years. I've been married for 25 years. And it has been a rough ride, because I pretty much have, she said, it's a concept in psychology, internal versus external locus of control. I'm going to look that up. Thank you.
I'm
See
gonna
that?
look at. Yep, something new
It's-
today.
Yeah, we're educating ourselves.
Uh-huh.
That's great. Thank you, Anna. Um, and it's been a rough ride, because it's been untreated. And I know that it, you know, it can be that I have to, and as well as there needs to be support groups, which I know they're out there, support groups for those with loved ones that are suffering from certain mental illnesses. There's certain ways that you can help them. There's do's and don'ts, just like there's do's and don'ts with us that are suffering. A lot of times it's hard not to do the don'ts. But
I sure miss grapefruit, man.
not sure where that came from.
Because I can't have it anymore, man. You said the do's and don'ts.
Oh yeah, don't eat grapefruit. Well, I can't drink a lot of milk now. I've gotten older. I'm lactose intolerant, but cereal and ice cream is my go-to munchies snack. But I regret it. Oh, I regret it. Cramps, pooping all night. I regret it, but I'll do it. So, I think it's really important for those that also live with somebody, a loved one, to educate themselves. And you can do that through support groups. And, that's just as important. I don't know if people really understand how important it is to have a good support group, and to have them people really understand, or really educate themselves on exactly what you're going through. That way they can see these things maybe creeping up before you do, and they can take maybe appropriate action, to maybe help bring you down. If you're starting to get manic, help bring you down. But it goes both ways. But yes, there is a lot of work that we have to do. It's not easy. It was never meant to be easy. It's taken us this long. It's not going to go away overnight. I got 42 years of trauma. I'll spend the rest of my life working on that because it went untreated for so long. After I came out about my sexual abuse when I was 11, the molestation, I came out and talked to somebody about it when I was 13. Went to a therapist. He's like, no, he's dealing with it fine. Within the first couple, things. So, boom, my mom pulled me out. Nothing to worry about. By the time I was 15, I was cutting on myself. It was like every 2 years. Boom, 11, 13, I came out. 15, I'm cutting myself, and in my first state hospital. And so I was dealing with it fine. No, just because you don't talk about it, just because you don't think about it, the trauma is stored in the body and in your muscles, and that's why it affects your digestive system. People don't understand that. They think, oh, I went through a bad time. Every once in a while I think about it, it makes me sad. That's not trauma. That may be a lightweight trauma, but that's not what, I think. Trauma is a lifelong thing. A lot of people don't know the difference between complex post-traumatic syndrome and post-traumatic disorder. And a lot, the difference between the two is PTSD can have one traumatic event. that happens. We see that a lot from veterans. Maybe a lot of them come out with complex PTSD, and the difference is with complex, it's a ongoing, years of intermittent traumas, which I went through. I went through the big three: physical, emotional, and sexual abuse. So I've had all of it, and it was over the course of my early teen years. So that didn't help. That certainly didn't help. But that's the difference. They hold a lot of the same, symptoms and whatnot, but they're just as painful. But I think CPTSD, it does have a few other, dangerous symptoms. Again, don't know where I was going with that. I start rambling, and who knows where. We may be talking about fucking cartoons here in a minute. Don't know.
Find out.
Tune in and find out. Are we going to talk about serious shit or Bugs Bunny? What are we doing?
Oh, that's mental health and cartoons, man. They go one on one, man. Like Looney Tunes,
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Animaniacs.
Yeah. They always find a way to get out of the tower,
Always. That's funny. That was one that I did like, even though I was, maybe in my 20s. I still thought that was funny. It had some adult jokes in it, I thought. But
Winnie the Pooh's mental health,
what's that?
Winnie the Pooh, all those characters.
Eeyore.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eeyore, and just walks around. He's in I think they call that like dysphoria or something like that, which is a disorder where you're just blah.
Pretty sure.
You're not up. You don't have your normal ups and downs like, people without mental illness do. Everybody has their ups and downs. It just affects us a little bit differently. But yeah, Eeyore was like a dysphoria or something like that. I was diagnosed with that too. Years ago. I think the main three are the ones that I mentioned. But yeah, Eeyore.
Tigger's manic.
Tigger is so manic. Yeah. Tigger is so manic. What would Pooh be? Piglet seems to be maybe one of the only normal ones. I think
kind of like depression, like because he like eats his feelings. Like I don't really know what else like.
Yeah, I think he has some lightweight depression issues.
Like Piglet's high anxiety. Like he's always freaking out about everything.
Oh yeah.
And then
Christopher Robin. Well, is that his name?
Yeah, Christopher Robin. They say the whole thing was his imagination. Like so that's why that's what it's all about. I think I don't know.
I've heard that. Yeah, I've heard that.
And then
Rabbit, what to tell you,
Rabbit OCD, like he's always like a control freak with his garden and everything.
He's a control freak with his garden.
Tigger comes and messes it up. And
fucking bounce, Tigger bounce.
Yeah, but there's a lot of like song. There's a lot of songs, movies. There's a ton of movies about mental health, and like,
yes.
And you don't understand it's a mental health movie until you're like, oh, this was about mental health.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of them do not portray a very realistic and truthful light on the disorder that's maybe zeroed in. But then again, on the other side of that, there are very good representations of, mental health disorder.
That movie,
you just gotta be careful, and everybody's watching TV, everybody's on social media, And I mentioned in the community chat that I'm not really a big fan of TikTok. There's a lot of people going on there and pretending to have this disorder and that disorder. I know DID, dissociative identity disorder. Tourette's. We're going on there and just, I mean, there's the fuck they call it, reality TV show
Yeah.
about a chick with Tourette's. It's trendy. I don't like that. It's not being taken serious, and people are getting on there and doing that shit for clout and likes and all this.
I didn't like that, and I didn't like people joking about autism after the stupid autism Tylenol scandal thing. Like, because
I didn't. What is? Oh, I didn't.
my nephew has autism, and he saved my life, and I'm like, and I hate seeing people joking about autism. Like, I mean, yeah, to some degree, but like when it's just like I don't know. They're I guess like society thinks like it's cool to have a mental health, or like some people think it's cool. I guess it's a trend or something.
No, it really is. And I talk about it. And I mentioned that as a teen, I was a cutter. I still struggle with that. 38 years later from when I started that, I still, deal with that. What the hell were you just talking about? I am bad.
Trending for mental
Oh yeah,
health.
yeah.
Like I gained a whole bunch of weight on this one medication I was on, and then I had a Y membership for a year. So I was wearing mental health shirts, and I was doing like 4 miles on the track every day, and I had that as my mental health walk. I was like all proud and stuff, and like I was the only one there. It was funny. I thought it was funny. But anyway, like I took all these pictures, and it's like bipolar warrior, and then like or not all things are visible, or
Not
something.
all
Like,
wounds are, yeah.
not all wounds are visible. Like I had that one on, and then I posted this stuff, and then on a bipolar page, and guys are like, I can't believe you're crazy enough to wear these shirts, and I'm like, what's wrong with them? Like,
Yeah, that's a quick note. I'll find the exit.
well, I mean, that's why I dropped the group. I'm like, how are you guys not supporting this stuff? Like,
Why not? I get a few articles of clothing. I got a mental health awareness sweatshirt. I got a sweatshirt, that says the one that has to the person behind me. I have that one. You know how many times I've had people come up and thank me for that?
that's all they need.
You don't know how many people you could be affecting just by them reading that. They could be having a hard day. They could be, thinking really bad thoughts. And you, by wearing that, could have helped them somehow.
And as I was wearing my clothes to the gym, I was holding the door for the elderly. Like I was smiling at the elder women, and like, and I had my mental health shirts on and stuff, and like just to prove, like, just because I'm bipolar doesn't mean I'm a bad person.
No,
like,
not at all, man. We just want to, be, I guess, treated. Of course, we have to be maybe handled with care. Some of us, during that healing process, but we just want to be like everybody else, man. It's just harder for us sometimes to be happy. And it said victimization. I'd say that slow. Has become trendy. It's lucrative now. I don't know if it's bad or good. I'm going to say it's bad. I don't think people are walking around acting like the victim all the time. And then there's some of us, there's a lot of us that are actual, victims, I guess. And it's disrespectful to me. And I find it disrespectful to make money off of being a content creator and pretending to have something that could be very debilitating for somebody else.
Yeah.
And to me, it's disrespectful to me and all the hard work that I've put in to, stay another day. That's just my opinion. I mean, what do you think? What do you
I'm
think?
just saying, like, I put my own money into this. I'm not a momentization content creator or
Right.
whatever. Like, I obviously nothing I do qualifies for making cash money on here. But what I'm doing on here is not for money. It's for helping people.
Yeah.
It's for like it's for the cause, and it needs to be done. Like, it just needs, like, this needs to be done.
Yeah.
Like, and
And that's why it pisses me off that, and he said it's lucrative. People make money off of this because of it being trendy. It's just like true crime podcasts at one time were the number one topic for podcasts. It was very lucrative. People were making money off of these podcasts. That's okay, if you're shedding light on, and I did a lot of podcasts on true crime. There's an unsolved true crime. There's an unsolved murder here locally, um, that I've been trying to get some things together to make a documentary about it. But anyway, I digress. Um, yeah, I don't give a shit about making money on YouTube. I just want to tell my story in hopes that people will not be ashamed to maybe tell their story. And the more people that open up, I think it helps. A lot of open discussion, just like we're doing now. We're talking about just all kind of different things. Whatever pops into our head, we're talking about. And I think if we just have more open discussion, uh, and also educate people. Every time I've been given, let's say, a medication for whatever, physical, mental, you get a medication or you get a diagnosis or whatever. I'm Googling as soon as I get home. I want to know exactly what this medication is going to do. I want to know, I've studied borderline for years now. There's not a lot I don't know. I mean, there's probably a lot I don't know, but I'm pretty well versed in borderline. Um, but yeah, I have to know what's going on. A lot of people say, well, that much research can have an opposite effect, and that's true. Um, it has not with me. It's made me very aware of what I'm going through, and helps me be able to recognize it and hopefully put an end to it and stop myself from spiraling. Which I also did um, I don't know if it was a real or an actual live on spiraling, um, which is fucking tough. Um, but yeah, uh, all in all, we're about up to an hour. I think that's plenty of time.
sounds good, man.
We
did
can't
good.
we can't take and talk about all the good stuff in one
Yeah.
shot. Um,
Find out next time.
yeah, same bad time, same bad channel. Uh, yeah. Um, so, like I mentioned on the last podcast, going to try and do a. I would like to do. I'd really like to do it every Sunday. Um, whether not even a topic is really needed. We can start with a topic and then see where it goes. I don't know, or every other Sunday. Just depends on you know my schedule and what's going on. But I want to make this more consistent. I had a lot of things going on this past year, movie roles and life. which made it kind of hard to stay consistent. But that is definitely something that I want to take and do self awareness. Anna says self awareness is the most important ingredient in therapy. I couldn't agree more. It's just like, having cancer. If you can catch that in early stages, you have a better chance. And if you're self aware, okay, I feel my heart racing. I feel maybe anxiety coming on. Sometimes it hits you all at once. I understand that. But you start feeling your heart race. You start, sweaty palms. You stop it. You're aware that this is happening. You stop, you do some breathing, and boom, you can take it down. So yes, being aware of your symptoms, being aware of what you've been diagnosed with, I agree, is very, very helpful. I really respect you guys. Well, thank you, Anna.
Thank you.
Well, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but there has been a lot of people that's come to me and say, there's been, a handful of people that come to me and say, man, I really enjoyed that. That's exactly what I was thinking. I was thinking about this the other day. Really helped me. And, it makes me feel good that I could at least get on here and babble about mental health and it actually, uh, help someone. And that's really all it's about. People have learned things from the podcast that they didn't realize before. And it's not all doom and gloom. I want to talk about, you mentioned being in manic episodes and being creative. Those with mental health issues are very creative. A lot of us are very creative. That's one of the not really positive, but that's one of the more upsides to borderlines. We tend to be very creative.
Some
Um,
art.
so there, even though it's hard to deal with certain mental illnesses, there are some good things that really come with it. You mentioned autism. Autism kids are fucking brilliant. I've seen some of the things that autistic young adults have done. Have you ever seen the guy that like drew the entire New York skyline?
Yeah, I was just gonna say they're architects, man. They're super good with building stuff and
Absolutely.
right.
It's amazing. So those are things that I think need to be discussed as well. It's not all doom and gloom, and we can get through this. Uh, Thank you, Ivan, for chatting with me, my
Hey,
friend.
thanks for letting me come on in here, man.
Hey, you'll have to do it more often, man. We'll talk.
Absolutely,
Um,
absolutely.
yeah. So, with that being said, let me see. What do I got here? I'm trying to find something that I can take us out with. I don't have that. I got a new uh, intro and whatnot coming. Um, but yeah, I thought it was it's a good show. I hope those that listen live and that are listening on the replay enjoyed it. Great. Thank you. See that applause, man. People loved it. Awesome. You guys have a great rest of your. It's Saturday, right? Yeah.
Guys have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you soon.
Later.
Later.